All right. So, like I said in the description of the last video, which was actually the live play between Evan and I think I'm just going to do recaps from now on because those are frankly very long to watch and probably not too exciting for any of you. Anyway, so this is the start at turn 2. One of the things that we noticed that we forgot that we retroactively fixed at the end was we did not apply the petroleum facility VP for the Iranians. So they get right here +2 per turn non-allied control of non-destroyed petroleum facility. There are 8 of those on the map, so he would have actually had 16 more VP. I fixed that later on in the log, which we can get to. Maybe I'll pause if I remember. But anyway, I did keep a log, so I'll just kind of run through the log and show you some of the interesting things. This is a contested turn, as we find out. So somewhere in here is so initiative VPs you can see are set to 12. Both of us earned 6 VPs last turn, and so this becomes a contested turn, which once we get in here, you can see I set it to a contested turn, which means obviously a lot of this phase track's not going to get used, and other effects, of course. But the bonus was we got through the entire turn 2 in one evening. So let me just kind of fast forward. So that was a bunch of his electronic detection. He was trying to detect the 82nd HQ. It's the only HQ on the map, so he spent all of his 4, 3 + 1 for the PRC intervening on that. And then I tried to detect a lot of his, as you can see the red pings on the map, I tried to detect a lot of his, or reveal rather, his naval SSM markers. You can see I found one more dummy that way, or was it 2? I don't recall. But anyway, I found 2 more. The thing is, so there's 1 here, 2, 3, 4. You can have 5 or 6, depending on how he decides to set up on either this side or this side. So if he has 6, these 2 are both real. If he only has 5, one of them is a dummy. And so we'll get to that eventually, I believe. So we went through. There's no first SOF phase because it's a contested turn, so we skipped that. Went into the air phase, which basically you can't see the window. Sorry about that. How can I get that in there? Well, suffice it to say, Evan decided not to contest, and we had a lot of discussion around what that could mean in terms of a lot of things. And so then he went to his SOF and targeted this airbase, tried to do a strike here, or I'm sorry, a raid there. He's raiding the air defense tracks. I believe he had a raid over here, whatever. Let me get through to the end of this. And you can see he knocked my SAMs down 1. But in the process, he lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 SOF teams. So it was not pretty for him at all. And then so I, as the allies, I'm going to make my SOF, and I'm using most of them. The vast majority of them are detection rolls because I need to, although the SSMs are revealed, I have to be able to detect them to actually attack them. And then I assign the French to attack his detection track. I'm just going to kind of fast forward through this, and as you can see, most of my guys survived. I lost 1 US SOF, but these ended up being real SSMs. So he has 6 on this side, which means there's only 4 over here. But these are now detected, and they stay detected. Unlike a lot of units, they don't lose their detection. And again, they also don't repair damage. So the strike 2 I put on there on turn 1 is going to stay there until it's destroyed. And then the French SOF didn't do anything, although they did survive. So then we moved into, what is that, first strike phase. Again, there's not a whole lot going on. He launched 3 SSMs against the carrier in the Gulf of Oman, and he put a cruise missile attack from his PRC SAG against this airbase, a ballistic missile on this airbase, and a ballistic missile against the HQ. And what we'll find out is the carrier took a strike 2 from the last missile, And decided the better part of valor was retreating to Diego Garcia to repair some of that. Otherwise, he didn't really do a whole lot of damage. Or I'm sorry, he did re-destroy the air bases, but they had been under repair, so there's no collateral damage. Although that just means there will be lack of runway effects for the airplanes based in Oman. I need to figure out how to get the air display to show up in the video. We'll figure that out at some point. Anyway, I used, because I have troops in Oman, I have a limited range for ballistic missiles, but I can hit anything within 5 of the coast over here. By rule, these guys have to set up within 5, so I just dropped a couple of ballistics here, and I did a cruise missile attack against his SAG, which ended up sending it to port. And the ballistic missiles missed on the naval SSM marker. So then he's laying out his airstrikes. I laid out my airstrikes. He detected my wild weasels. They didn't do anything against his air defense track. Then the bombers came in, and although he detected them, he didn't hit any of them, but they all missed their targets, sadly, which was disappointing. On the other hand, his guys more or less missed their targets. I think he ended up destroying this airbase again, but again, there's no collateral damage. And his airstrike on the air defense track also missed. So it was not a very exciting turn for either of us. And so then we moved into for supply phase. Everybody's basically in supply, so we skipped that. There's no initiative movement combat because it's a contested turn. Not sure what we were talking about there. Oh, we were talking about he moved his supply depot a little bit because he wasn't sure. He had forgotten that the cities provide supply for the Iranians, and so he wanted to shift the supply depot around. We were talking about he could put one up in here because these guys are going to have issue getting supply when they first come on. He elected to put it on the island of Keshem instead, because if those guys ever end up being cut off, there's really no way to get them supply. So that was a retcon from his misunderstanding. I tried to move my SAG into the Gulf of Oman, but the contested movement was bad. Mostly because it's +2 for the patrol boats, +3 for the ASW level. I only had the one SAG, and I think he did not spend an SSM on that, but the roll was bad enough I didn't feel like taking a strike marker. However, subsequent detection roll, because although he didn't finish the move, he did attempt the move, and that'll be a clarification of the series rules, you still roll for detection on that guy, and so he lost detection on him with that big roll of 9. So we skipped through that movement, and then see, I was adjusting the VP there. He's just moving on his reinforcements from the map edge, and then we go through a bunch of cleanup. I really just kind of want to get through some of that stuff. Let me see if I can get to the end. I want to show the air. I'm going to go rapidly try to figure out how to show the air. So we're adjusting the VP. Lots of reinforcements, SOF. A lot of ground units showing up in the Oman holding box. He's getting his reinforcements on the map edges. All right, and you can obviously, sorry, I was kind of going fast. You can pause anywhere, and you won't be able to zoom in too much. But I'm not sure if that makes sense. Let me pause here and see if I can get the air display to show up. Okay, I think I may have actually figured it out. Maybe. We'll find out. Anyway, so this is what I was trying to say. So because those 2 air bases in Oman are destroyed and/or strike 2 and/or under repair, half the planes or air units in Oman have to be moved to the flown box before the next turn. Now the bonus is you skip steps A, B, and C of the air superiority phase, so you don't get double dipped against having strikes or destroyed on those air bases. It's all been already done basically, and we'll put a note in the air support in the sequence of play to that effect. But like I was saying, so the Allies got some Commonwealth planes. I think I got another F-35 here, got another Rafale here, got an A-10. I put the A-10 here just to give me some more options when I have to move half of my dudes back, and I repaired this Rafale here. He had a bunch of dudes in the flown box because they were aborted in turn 1, so he got most of his Air Force back. So turn 3 is going to be interesting. And then, as I was saying, I can't remember actually if I was saying or not, but like over here, because this was a contested turn, turn 2 was a contested turn, and neither of us earned VPs, it's going to be one of those rare double contested turn instances. So it should be interesting. The good thing will be that we'll probably get through the entire turn again next week, and then the recap will be short again. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Leave some comments, questions, whatever. Talk to you later.